So you're ready to start investing. That is a fantastic first step. But before you even think about what to buy, you've got to figure out where you're going to put it. And that's exactly what we're breaking down today. How to choose that very first and very crucial investment account. We're going to look at the three main contenders here in France and help you figure out which one is right for you. And this, right here, is the perfect place to start. Investing isn't about getting lucky or rolling the dice. It's about building a solid, smart foundation for your future. This quote really sets the tone for everything we're about to talk about. It's all about the plan, not about chance. Okay, so you've got some savings set aside, you've got your goals in mind, you're fired up and ready to go. But then you run smack into that first big question. Where exactly do I put this money? It's not about the stocks or the funds just yet. It's about choosing the right container for them, or support, as it's often called here in France. In the French investing world, it really boils down to three main choices for most of us. Think of them like different tools for different jobs. We've got the PEA, the CTO, and the Assurance V. We're going to put them head to head, look at their pros and cons, and see which one makes the most sense to start with. First up in the ring, we have the P. Now, if this account had a nickname, it would absolutely be the tax champion. Its main superpower, and it is a big one, is the incredible tax advantage you get over the long term. This is a huge deal for growing your wealth. So here's the deal. It's all about a trade-off. On the one hand, the huge advantage. After you've held it for 5 years, your gains are exempt from income tax. I mean, that's massive. It is tailor-made for long-term investing. But there are some downsides. You're mostly limited to European stocks and funds, you can only have one PA per person, and if you take money out before this 5 years are up, you usually have to close the whole thing down. So to put it simply, the PEA is your absolute go-to if your main goal is long-term, tax-efficient growth in European-based assets. It is an incredibly powerful tool, but you've got to have the patience to really unlock its best feature. Okay, now this is a really important warning. Pay attention here. While the tax rules for a PEA are the same no matter where you open one, the fees are absolutely not. We're talking management fees, transaction fees. They can be wildly different from one bank to another. And trust me, those costs can seriously eat into your returns over the years. So doing your homework on fees before you commit is just, well, it's non-negotiable. All right, on to our second contender, the CTO, or compte titre ordinaire. Now, if the PEA is our disciplined tax champion, then the CTO is the freewheeling champion of total freedom. This account is all about giving you unrestricted access to the entire world of investing. With a CTO, seriously, the world is your oyster. You can invest in anything, anywhere. US stocks? Yep. Global ETFs tracking the whole world? You got it. There are no deposit limits, and you can open as many of them as you want. So, what's the catch? Well, there's no tax break. Every single time you sell for a profit, you're going to pay tax on that gain right away. And the tax we're talking about here is generally the flat tax. It's pretty straightforward, just a fixed rate of 30% that gets applied to your investment gains. It's simple to understand for sure, but that's a pretty significant chunk that you just don't have to worry about with a PEA that's over 5 years old. So if that freedom sounds good to you, how do you actually pick a good CTO? Well, there are a few key things to look out for. You want a platform that's easy to use, you want to make sure it actually offers the ETFs you're interested in, and, this is a big one, check if it provides an IFU. And just like with the PEA, you have got to compare all the fees. So what in the world is an IFU? Think of it as a cheat sheet for your taxes. It's a single document your broker sends you that neatly summarizes all your investment activity for the year. A broker that provides one of these will save you a massive headache come tax season. Not all of them do, so it's a huge quality of life feature to look for. So the bottom line on the CTO is this. It's the perfect tool for getting access to everything you can't get in a PEA. It's the ideal partner account for an investor who wants to be globally diversified and understands that all that flexibility comes at the cost of being taxed right away. And that brings us to our third and final contender, the Assurance V. This one is often called the Swiss Army knife of French investing, and for good reason. It's incredibly versatile. It's not just an investment account. It can also be a tool for estate planning, and it can offer a level of security the others don't. The Assurance Vie has its own unique tax advantages that kick in after 8 years. It also lets you invest in something called fonds euros, which are basically capital guaranteed funds, super secure. But, and this is a big but, its greatest weakness is often the fees. You can have entry fees, management fees, transaction costs. All these layers of fees can really add up and become a serious drag on your performance if you're not paying close attention. So yeah, while it's a really powerful and flexible tool, the mantra with any Oseros V contract is always, always, always compare the contracts and watch out for the fees. The long-term impact of high costs over decades can be absolutely staggering. All right, we have met our three contenders. We've seen what they're good at, we've seen where they fall short, so now it's time for the verdict. How do you actually pick the right account to kickstart your investment journey?
And this table just lays it all out beautifully. You can see the core differences all in one spot. Just look at the taxation row. The PEA is the undisputed winner after 5 years. Then check out eligible assets. The CTO gives you total freedom. For deposit limits, the PEA is capped, while the others are basically unlimited. You can see each one has its own distinct personality.
So, what's the recommended game plan, according to our source material, for a typical long-term investor? It's basically a two-pronged attack. First, you prioritize UPEA. You want to max out that tax advantage as much as you can. Then, once you've done that, you open a low-cost CTO and use it to buy everything else you need for a truly global portfolio. That combination gives you the best of both worlds: incredible tax efficiency and total freedom. But before we finish, let's just focus on what is probably the single most important idea in all of this. It's not the account that creates performance, it's your discipline. You can spend weeks agonizing over the perfect account, but if you don't invest regularly and stick with your plan through the good times and the bad, none of it will matter. Your own consistency, that's the real engine of your growth. So we've broken down the tools, we've laid out the strategy. Hopefully the path forward is a lot clearer now. The only question left is the one on the screen. What's your first step going to be? Thanks for tuning in.